Ah, there you are. Told you that we weren't going to be long, and look, you believed us. That's a very, very, very foolish thing in modern online casting terms. Usually these could take up to 45 minutes when things crash, but hey, we're all guns blazing here in our NA coverage here on TV, Serbo TV. We haven't finalized a name quite yet, but either way, it's a nice little joint effort between me, Ben, and Samus covering RGL's great season that started off. We're in week 1, and we're still continuing with week 1, or week 1B to be exact. Ben, are you still there? Did you follow my advice?
Yeah, I'm here just about on time, ready for game number 2. It's so nice that the other teams are like they're all sort of like orderly queuing up, just leave their PCs, wander off again. The next team are in straight away, no technical hitches at all, and we can start whenever whenever we like. But if anyone coming back and missing the first game, Froyo Tech took a 5-1 victory against the Mafia in their week 1 game. We've got 2 new teams coming up this time. We've got Witness Gaming, the American Witness Gaming, of course, and we have GlobalClan. That's again the regular GlobalClan, not GlobalClan Ice, I think is like their sister team that's also playing in this season. That would get very confusing doing that game. We're avoiding that one for now.
Yes, I already have predictions to this game. I try not to pay attention to any sort of scorelines. I don't like to spoil myself during these things, but with these two teams and just seeing how the power ranking goes in my mind, this should be a close one. This should by far be a lot closer than any sort of Tech and Mafia scoreline. Also, we get to compare and contrast. Is some of the anomalies that we saw just EU versus NA anomalies, or are these just Tech anomalies or Mafia anomalies here, Ben?
Yeah, it'd be a nice one to learn about, right? Obviously, coming across the youth from Europe, yeah, we always can't generalize too much off of just one game. So now back on the same map as well, so we get to compare. We're back on Snakewater once more, but GlobalClan against Witness, and yeah, as you say, 2 teams that like honestly looking pretty strong. They got a good write up on the TFTV article, and both teams sort of looking to sort of potentially contest towards the upper end of the table come the later end of this season.
Yeah, so I don't think I've got too much to say. I think obviously we plan to do more of these because these are pretty fun. I'm already enjoying myself, and I would like to see more RGL, and I'd like to see more RGL casted as well. So I think we'll learn a bit more about the lore, kind of gather our own thoughts and findings about these things. And who knows, maybe it might tempt some of the UEU folk out there to kind of wait up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and tune into the live cast on RGL's own little broadcast and whatnot. But in the meantime, you're here with Turretab, Samus, and Ben. And when we get started, I'm going to count us all in. So I'm going to just do a nice strolling 3, 2, 1, and go.
Right, here we are, back on Snakewater once again. We've got Witness Gaming wearing the blue colours, and we've got GlobalClan wearing the red in this week 1 game. Best of ones again, same stipulations as last time. See what these teams are going to bring for us on this first mid.
Now, I imagine these two teams want to get points off each other. I feel like they're pretty closely tied in the standings of things when it comes to this league. So I'm very interested to see how these teams opt to start off a kind of game like this. And oh my god, I've crashed. That's how they start.
Right, well, I'll keep going. There was some massive bombs across the point. There's 2 soldiers of Laz and Ash landing really nice rockets, but actually now it's Skis, the blue medic, going to be under fire, trying to escape out across this bridge. Just Artist there to try and defend, but the scout, Pablo, going to be launched up high and is taken down, but Shamu is in behind, and I don't think they're aware of it. 2 nice, huge scattergun shots there onto Skis. Gonna get the medic on the way back out into lobby. Artist just wasn't able to do it. Demo against scouts is so hard. Skis now on such a long respawn time, gonna mean that GlobalClan have a very healthy Uberad to work with.
Very optimistic that you think I've launched in this quickly. I'm only loading the demo.
We're good. I'm just pause for a moment as they cap up the point now, as we have GlobalClan just getting themselves set up on mid. They've still got a fair way to build up the rest of this Uber charge. It's only it's about a 30-ish% add, so it's something you can definitely work with. But they're just going to sit passive for now, just build this out and potentially look to make a move soon, as the Uber charge now hitting 75%. Now the time to take the buffs, start taking this space, and it looks like space taken will be over towards Saw. This is something we saw Froyo do in that previous game. They enjoyed it quite a lot, getting those soldiers in. the traps up on the pipe, but Witness Gaming aren't too keen on the idea of giving up too much space. Going to force out GlobalClan to go through the window now onto the grasses. They're at 100%, they're trying to walk in, but 2 soldiers launching straight over the top, going to do good damage onto GlobalClan's Medi, but not quite get out that all-important force. Really nice hold there. Second point is capped up, but Skis, after that late death on mid, has finally built up an Uber of their own all the way back on last. So going to be even Ubers as we pull over towards the blue last.
You ever watch Back to the Future? I'm literally trying to travel to the future right now in hyperspeed. I think I should be there relatively soon, but in the meantime, what is happening?
Right, well, bursting their way in, 2 soldiers actually trying to work in from this lower side. They've actually got Pablo in as well, everyone hurling themselves in onto this snake wall. It's the last point. Low going to be trying to back out from underneath, going to be getting chased down by Branslam there with the engineer shotgun. So nice work there on the defense coming in for Witness Gaming as, again, just maybe it's something of the 4-minute round time as the style. They're just playing so quickly into these last points as Laz going to try and do some sort of counter sack there, but nothing is doing it in it. Nice work there from Shamu, but again, it was almost a 3-man sack, I want to say, straight in onto Laz there, but just didn't manage to quite land the damage. Got one of their players alive and now can reset, but the gun down. I can't seem to see the gun's still by spawn. It's still getting built, so the gun's not in prime optimal banny position just yet. So there's actually plenty of space for these soldiers if they want to go, and they've actually seen the gun getting built. So this could be Pablo's chance to go in. No, it doesn't quite manage it. But Pablo has found the opportunity to go up and sniper.
Yeah, he's getting pressured at the moment now, and we'll rotate around like any good sniper will, just to make sure he's just keeping them guessing.
Yeah, gonna just try and peek out through top left is gonna be the order of operations so far, but actually gonna be taking a fair bit of spam. With only 5 players up, that means everyone back out of the lobby, reset, wait for your spawners, and try and work your way back in. Over half of this stalemate has gone already, and I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't felt like very stale from what I'm used to seeing a lot of the time. It's been a lot of aggression, a lot of trying to burst in through these choke points, and now the sniper might slow down slightly. And they are, of course, very aware of it. They've seen face-to-face, eye-to-eye with Pablo. So we'll see now, with the spawners back in, where Pablo decides to peek from.
So, yeah, just looking pretty cookie cutter. A lot calmer than any of the Froyotech game that we saw earlier. There is a minute left, so, you know, pressure's on GlobalClan to start kind of getting a move on at this point. And this is the problem with Sniper. Sniper is a very patient class here. And oh yeah, they've actually exchanged Ubers out. It's actually Witness Gaming trying to catch them off by surprise during all this, and it could have gone worse for everybody involved there, but they're all coming out relatively unscathed. Witness Gaming do make their way out of this lower area, playing off their players' advantage. They do have respawners, but that's going to take a while to actually get back to things, and they cut off poor Dank there, and now with the Uber advantage on their side, and the heals on their side, they can just keep rolling this into mid.
Yeah, really nice play there. Just taking that trade, and you said it might caught them out. It certainly caught me out, and I think it caught out all the GlobalClan side. They dropped 2 players in that. They're trying to scurry their way back out, drop their pocket scout also, and that means once the pocket scout's down, no taxi speed, and that means Dank goes down also following up. But Ski's now with a decent sized Uber ad, but does not have Uber yet, which could become quite crucial as if this fight goes on a bit longer, comes and gets drawn out. But actually, the frags are going so well for Witness Gaming. They've burst their way across this point. They haven't had to use. This could not be going any better for them.
Never give up, never surrender. When sometimes I think it's okay to do a tactical retreat over on the side of Global, but they just were throwing everybody, the kitchen sink, and the poor Demoman now is not really here active on this last point to deal with all these Witness Gaming swarming in, Ben.
Yeah, and neither is the Uber charge either. It's still only at 80% over on Dank, who's going to have to retreat over towards the spawn. Might be getting it just in time before the end of this fight, but how many players will be lost before this Uber charge is popped out? It's finally popped out from Dank, and it is there in time. Nobody is taken down on the red side before the Uber comes out. That's so crucial. The focus just wasn't quite there from Witness, and really nice rotation of heals there, of course, from Dank also playing a part in that one. And again, 2 players up. Easy second point retake for GlobalClan as now able to settle themselves back down again.
Yeah, this is the problem with Scout Ubers when you're pushing into last. They need to be very decisive and very pointed towards what they want to kill and what they're focusing on. They kind of popped off the Uber, and it looked pretty good. They were in the thick of things. They were basically on their last point, knocking at them, but no real committal, no sort of going for a medic or just kind of laying in all the damage. They just kind of got absorbed and overwhelmed, and it probably added pressure as well that they were suspecting a counter Uber coming out soon. Oh,
massive aggression. Okay, No Mercy's going to be taken down on the landing as Dank does not quite have Uber charge yet. Going to have to back out underneath and actually is so weak, getting spammed down in this choke point as the counter Uber finally comes back in. Going to find that one kill onto Artist. Ash going to try and jump up, threaten to go behind, but only 2 survivors now. And again, this aggression coming in caught them completely out of expectancies. Now Loaf going to be forced to the point. This is surely going to be around. These spawners can come in and do something huge.
yeah, they do have a lot of respawners coming in. They should see this coming over on Witness Gaming, so it does mean they shouldn't bunch up as much, but they shouldn't play the point. They did have a mixture of like how they wanted to deal with this. Some people wanted to kind of kite it and play around last still, just on their half of the map, but some of Witness Gaming wanted to back out completely, just stay on second and play it that way, get the guaranteed Uber charge. So they're not going to lose anything majorly out of it, just a couple of kills and a bit of wasted time, but they do have a plan B, and it's this Uber charge.
Yeah, and before we get into this push, I did love that aggression into second point, just flinging the down man into the skybox, caught them out completely. As now this Uber charge advantage is actually a lot bigger than I initially anticipated it would be. It's still 70% on this Uber ad. There's no rush at all. They've had time to spam their gun down, and they've had time to get their down man and their scout flashed in through the shutter. Gonna kill that kill onto Loaf as well as the cap time can begin. The heavy, those fat little legs gonna try and waddle over to block, but the legs aren't quite fast enough as Witness Gaming get their first round on the board.
Yeah, nobody really designated to block there. Usually you have some soldiers jumping from the spawns, or you have a scout quickly trying to put a pinky toe onto the point, but I think they were just kind of put off a little bit because there was a bit of ground taken by the soldier spamming them in, and usually it makes you a bit too sheepish, and sheepish is slowish.
Yeah, absolutely, and if that last mid was anything, it was not slowish, because we had players flung across the place instantly. We'll see, we said it last time actually on the Froyo game, see if mid number 2 is going to be the sort of more sedate kind of style. Has high ground already been taken by the Witness side, maybe thinking about going for something quick, but no, decided to just back off as now Double Bomb finally coming in, Laz in low and Ash in high as they go 1-for-1. Demoman down though on the picks, he's going to be good, but there's some weak players over on this Witness Gaming side. Going to lose Brand Slam, and now it's extended 5v4. They could be in a little bit of trouble, maybe using the Demoman advantage. It's maybe even if you're going like chess material sort of levels, but looks like now going to be in these extended fights when the spawners start coming in. I get mid fight number 2.
Yeah, it's all very
so
nice. Very nice sort of set of rockets coming in. Very nice as well from GlobalClan to keep their cool. Now, usually when you see a Demoman go down, you start panicking because it's a significant class. But in those sort of elongated long fights, usually the Demoman's kind of spent. He's used a lot of his pipes and stickies and whatnot. He's not operating at full power as he'd like to, and I don't think he can gain as much as a foothold on this sort of map as like most Demomen can do on, say, some other maps in the map pool of Team Fortress 2. And those soldiers were going to come back because they were spent really early. So yeah, very well played by GlobalClan. They're coming in with the Uber now.
In through the shutter once more. Gun being dealt with, lots of cap time. Going to be trying to get blocked, but Paolo, No Mercy and Shamu all being taken down. The recollapse is in. There's no deaths over on the Witness Gaming side. They're holding strong, they're holding tight, and now Dank on the medic, going to be the last one to try and go in through drop down. No, everyone's seen it. The timing wasn't quite there. I like the surf attempt, but oh, it was nearly there. That would have been huge. Imagine medic surfs over the top, lands on the point and caps. That's in everyone's frag movie.
Yeah, it's good of them to keep track of that sort of thing. I know I've seen many a time where medics are just forgotten, or they don't think they have the gall to actually go back to last. But medic caps can be a formidable thing, as we are now in the Witness driving seat. They have a full Uber charge. They're leaving a person on second, and they're already making their way to second point now. They should have no real buffs kind of ready for this Witness Gaming lineup pushing in, and yeah, they're getting greedy with it, and they will actually defy Paul Dog's attempt to try and force onto skis, but it does not work out.
Yeah, Demoman is sort of the second best thing though, right? They're going to make this Uber charge push into last a little bit more awkward. And I was going to say before, this is like perfect conditions for the perfect storm for a coast to coast. Like you talk about Medic going down late, Medic going down by running into last alone is about as late as you can get. So they had as much Uber charge ad as they could for this coast to coast, but losing their demo has seemed to stall things out a little bit. As Dank going to be 75%. There's a Pyro close by the shutter, which is not something I see every day on Snakewatch. It's more of a Gullywash thing in my knowledge, but it doesn't seem like they're too aware of. They're still trying to spam away, but the Pyro might not be needed. There's 95% on Dank, and the Uber ad has gone as Ash going to launch in. Is that a detonator kill?
Yeah, that's a detonator kill. It's allowed. We don't have that in EU land. It's a very annoying thing being on fire, and if you can get the flank on fire, and usually they're playing very separate from their medic on these sort of push outs to last, so really is almost like a guaranteed sort of flank sorted if you get these detonators off quite cleanly and easily, which usually that gun can facilitate. They pop off Uber, they do force them out. They will cost them a demo man, but they just take the scout taxi out. If this was any other point except last, I would have commended this here, Ben.
Yeah, it's going to be potentially a bit messy. There's 8 more seconds with no demo, and that's 8 seconds of brutal pressure that could be coming their way. But the gun is there, the gun is defending, and the gun is actually getting tanked with heals from Pablo. And it looks like he's going to hold tight. No Mercy's back up, and at the end of the day, it is to be commended because they have got this Uber charge advantage. Dank still with 50% ad, and it looks like a 50% ad that they're willing to walk on. Never mind, they're just going to use straight in.
I mean, this is why you see the effectiveness of this Uber is quite lacking, because they have to spend so much time to run all across this point to try and get towards the enemy team, and then by the time the Uber charge is actually used and up and spent and all this, they're in the perfect sort of firing line for Witness Gaming to come out of not only the window but the grass stores. They've got a health pack as well to kind of help them absorb that. I'm not liking these Ubers. I don't like these sort of just popping in and just like, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, I feel like some sort of pressure fight could have gone a long way there. But like you said, they're using like their own side of lobby on the GlobalClan side. Like it's not even like they're at the bridge area. They're literally like so far back in lobby. Like it's such a long distance.
Yeah, Ben, it is basically the red light to go. You know, they just pop the light. It's like, okay, you're supposed to be fighting now. Like, okay, yes, yes, Mr. Medic, sir. And well, they've paid the piper. It's 2 rounds up on the board for Witness Gaming, and they're getting aggressive. Well, I was saying they get aggressive. It was actually a fake coming out from Poledog. It allows his team to get a bit of high ground, but there's no real damage. There's no real sort of easy picking targets from the rest of Witness Gaming. They're instead going to just send in their own soldiers, coordinate a little bit more, and the push cross is a lot more clean from Witness Gaming. Sadly, though, it still loses. I mean, I guess they just lost skis, and they had a clear plan from GlobalClan at that point. Just back out with the medic, and hey, what do you know? A couple of picks here and there.
Yeah, Shimi was doing a pretty good bit of work there on the back line on the fight as well, just distracting those flank players, meaning that they couldn't just run in for free and try and get straight in onto Dank. And Poledog there getting a couple on the fight too. Means it's going to be a mid-win going the way of GlobalClan. You go 2 rounds down, first step in sort of getting back into this. Nice one for them to pick up, but again, the midpoint going to be capped up rather slowly, so it's what, 60% ad now? That ad probably isn't going to work them all the way into last. Like, it's going to have to be something into second. We're going to see them up against a sniper. The sniper's already peeking all the way up into top lobby. Is this going to be expected?
Yeah, they might get greedy with this. They actually throw in a soldier, realizing that Brand Slam was rocking the sniper class there. So with their only sort of option to kind of maybe force out this Uber or at least get a pick on this medic, they take it away from them. They're backing out to last. They have this 100% Uber charge though. They have delayed enough time to kind of give things, but they've got 1 respawner in the back queue, and GlobalClan humouring the idea of trying to push in, but it's all a distraction play because the real force was coming out from Loaf here, who gets the force onto skis.
Yeah, it was a 3-man sack basically, as everyone's sort of piling their way in. Good distraction though, like you say, and these sort of players just made available by the fact there's no gun up on last because it was such a quick one in, and actually no Paul gets taken down as well. So it's actually a 4-man sack for the Uber. As the last couple of
Dank used his Uber as well. I forgot to mention that. There was I turned over, I was like, well, let's see what you got, GlobalClan. Why did you do all that? And I guess in all the chaos, in all the lobby, it must have been
Yeah,
forced
I didn't
out this
even
Uber
notice
charge.
that Dan could use the Uber there. Like that. That's how much I think the Uber managed to accomplish. Like I genuinely didn't realize they used.
I mean, maybe the Witness Gaming won't have noticed as well, but I'm sure
There is a
somebody was
force. It was
fighting.
surely a force, right?
Yeah,
Like, it has
yeah.
to be.
I think that lobby was pressured a lot. I think that's what allowed Loaf to get in and force onto skis. So it's just kind of teams copycatting in a way, where they put so much pressure on each other's medics, they kind of forego their medics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that means the medics are using it roughly equal times. Means it's going to be a roughly equal Uber situation. But this time, Pablo going to be the one rocking the sniper. Like sniper to snake goes a second. It's not the ideal point, I don't think, but there's certainly a few sightlines you can work with. The windows, like I noticed with one, and this one out from lower, you can maybe catch a soldier or a scout potentially out of position. But getting anything more than that is often asking for quite a lot, as there's so much cover around the point. There's that big big fence. Oh, Brand Slam again taken down. Okay.
Yeah, they needed that pick, otherwise it was looking like a hot fight happening on mid.
2 scouts.
But the soldiers managing to get behind on the battlements as well. This is going to put a bit of pressure. They've actually popped off against Laz, who jumped in to force off this Uber. But, I mean, in this long milking, you could just call this a good Uber and a bad Uber. They're focusing so much on Dank. I'm not sure that's the target to make.
Oh,
What's he got left to give you?
That's so close.
Yeah, but now, everyone is actually very low over on GlobalClan, so maybe they actually are paying the piper here. But if they got a bit quicker and a bit more focused on GlobalClan, whilst all that sort of distraction play was being made by Dank, they probably could have just killed everybody else with guns.
Yeah, that distraction play was so good as well. Like that movement on the ground stayed alive for so long. I want to maintain if that pipe was from a stock grenade launcher or an iron bomber, like I think Dank dodges that. But it was from lock and load, so just about quick enough to seal the deal on that one. But again, the distraction was so good, but the rest of the team just weren't quite able to focus the damage towards the point, and going to be rewarded over the Witness Gaming side. Going to be rewarded with what, 30% advantage. Player up advantage still, as Shamu on the flank was trying to go for a back cap that was just never going to happen. 5 times on mid. Nicely dealt with there from Witnesses. Now they're going to cap up second. Going to be even Ubers by the time they get onto last, probably, unless they go super quick. And actually, they might be just doing just that straight in from underneath. Was that a baddie ban? I think they managed to escape through spawn there as players diving onto the point. Uber charge on the red side coming out finally.
Amazing. Oh Christ! They actually capped. Oh, my God! I was so happy for GlobalClan. I was like, this is looking really good. This is you can't write it, Ben. You literally can't write it.
That's crazy that happens.
It is the most important point, and yeah, I mean, they did 100% get the kills, but they just needed to be like one person on cap duty, and they had the Uber charge as well. There was literally no reason to really give that cap away.
As well. It was such a good Uber. They got it at the perfect time. They had all the players they needed in the Uber charge, doing so much damage with it. But yeah,
good banny binds as well, and all this. Everyone was staying alive, just not anybody caring about the point though. Saj as nice sort of soldier aggression. Usually, you only see one soldier going for that sawmill, so having it ×2 is lethal. As Witness Gaming have made a big splash there. They have made this play happen again though, with Dank getting out nice and early, surviving all the onslaught compared to his medic opponent's skis. So this is a hope and heart for GlobalClan.
Paolo's camping forward spawn are going to get skis. Paolo is literally where they go back. Okay, I thought for a moment that skis was going to walk straight into the soldier there. There's a bit of a skirmish happening on the second. I think Paolo's going to be not long for this world now as the rest of the spawners go back. I saw skis walking towards lower where there was the waiting arms of Paolo, but have pulled up. But no, not going to be.
We're taking our sweet time here over on GlobalClan. I guess we just really want to be very nice as they are playing rather sheepish. They finally pop off the Uber charge now. This should be a nice setup for an early medic pick. I don't know why they thought they could hold in that area over on skis. And with the medic taken out of the equation now, they are going for a back cap play. This is very all in, but they kept 2 soldiers behind and maybe one on the flank just to make sure... That's 3 soldiers, but you know what I mean. One looking at the flank, one looking at roughly in that behind area. It seems a lot of players and teams kind of enjoy the consensus of going for a back cap when these Uber exchanges happen on mid.
Yeah, and I like the idea. It's just that Bulldog and Loaf just hit some really nice rockets on second. Like, if those rockets don't hit and the fight goes the other way, then we could be in a bit of a mess. But players already waltzing their way in through Saw, and actually Pablo going to be taken down on the low ground. So they're going on last, maybe a bit pessimistic perhaps, as they're now a pick up on the Witness Gaming side, and they're looking to potentially hold this one. It's still Desad, but they've got a lot more of a chance now that there's one less scout going to be in this push.
I'm maybe my bit. Oh, they've actually used the Uber very early here, and yeah, they just walk out. This seems to be the obvious counter where people comes to second involved, but it does kind of guarantee a second and put the pressure onto Witness Gaming to make a clean last push with the Uber charge, usually with all your players up. Ash is going to throw a wrench in the machine cogs, however, with him going behind, drawing multiple players back, and yeah, they pop in pretty early. They were already on top of the medi, but very nice timing on backing out there, but down to the last moment, and maybe even some danger zones as they rotate round over on GlobalClan, getting all healed up and buffed up, and maybe in time to block this second point. Not quite, but they're still going to commit to the fight anyway, but it's kind of to their doom. They're already set up over on Witness Gaming. And yeah, everyone was thrown towards Witness Gaming on that point, but it wasn't in like sort of a big bombing motion. It was mainly just walking in and just like fighting.
Yeah, it was really nicely done actually from GlobalClan. They were sort of a disadvantage of the fight before because of the great work that Ash was doing all the way around on the flank, just sort of dragging so many players back. But there, like, it was nicely done. On the recollapse, losing their med early, but Brand Slam going to be winning out one of the fights, but that might not be enough as the players actually going to pile in and block this point. 3 down now on the attacking side, and really quick spawns there. Like 1 second later when them spawns could have landed them in a bit of trouble, but as it stands, Witness Gaming actually walking out. Bulldog getting the medic, going to land a nice rocket onto the Demo Man. Also, as Artist going to be launched out towards the grass.
Oh, they even both get out.
That is theft.
They can come back in.
They just run.
They've blocked the point. They've got some rooms made for their scouts. They high five is caught in no man's land. They've even kept their soldier alive during all this as well. I smell around here, Ben. It's on a silver platter.
Yeah, off the back of those 2 soldiers as well. Paul and Love doing such great work on those bombs, and yeah, there is a gun up. That gun doesn't quite watch all of the point. There are going to be some nice little corners you can sit in. They might not actually sit in those either because the gun's gone down. Players dropping left and right. Artist going to be the one to try and block into the point. Ubercharge used finally, and there's only 3 players left up with a temporary 3v3, some multi-trio gameplay now as Laz launched out behind the truck. Is that a pistol? Oh, this is getting scrappy. This is getting very messy.
Oh, another respawner entering the fire. Player 3 has entered the game. He is too late though. I mean, GlobalClan did it in the end, but it took a lot of, coins in this arcade game.
That was, yeah, that should not have been so hard, I've got to say. Like, they were up players, up a massive Uber ad, and I feel like they just used the Uber so late there. They let so many players die on the way in, and yeah, like, they eventually won out the fights with their Uber ad and won them in just enough time to not lose the point of the spawners coming in. But we'll see now, 3-1. We'll see now if GlobalClan can keep up the good momentum. Gonna have to find 3 more rounds where that one came from if they are to come back and eventually win this game. But on the side of things, Witness Gaming going to be taking some good height. We've seen before these double bombs coming in very, very nicely for Witness Gaming. We'll see if they go for something very similar again at some point. Laz just jumping up onto the height, faking me out, maybe thinking about going for it, but decide, you know what, the conditions aren't perfect. Gonna back up. It's actually high five, the one who's going to commit in all the way behind.
Excuse me? Is this a mid? What the hell? Oh my god, they actually have an Uber charge. They waited out so long. I just didn't. I thought I wasn't paying attention, and it wasn't a mid. It was just a regular round. But yeah, they just pop off Uber. They were pressured, I guess, for so much longer, and had the feeling that they would get the Uber just that little bit earlier to Witness Gaming. And yeah, GlobalClan, they were just hard to kind of pin down. They had some sort of inklings of ideas of maybe where they could find this one pick to start off. But Snakewater's a fickle mid. You need to commit quite a decent chunk, it feels like, to find that pick onto somebody, and nobody wants to do that and kind of give away their life. And yeah, very nice for GlobalClan to take the Uber fight there and realize that this pressure can be used as an offensive tool.
Yeah, I think also, didn't Dank swap out Mediguns as well? When Skis died 95%, and now Dank has the Uber charge instantly from swapping out the Medigun on the mid-fight. Going to be going straight in, gun taken down. Ash, not long for this world either. Heavy pinned back towards the spawn room. It's on the Scout and on the Soldiers. High Five bursting in, doing a lot of damage, and the Heavy is there too, and actually, the defense holds strong and really nicely done there from Witness. It looked rough for a moment, but they've held off wave 1. There's going to be a wave 2 as well, though, round behind the truck. The Uber charge isn't going to be here this time, and the Soldiers high up in, loads of cap time coming through, and damage onto the Heavy is going to force out this Uber charge. But Dank, Shamu going to try and run out. Never mind, Shamu's taken down. Dank going to be getting chased down by High Five and just about getting out alive on this one. But this is so messy and looking at pretty darn good for Witness, because they've got so many players up. They can cap second point and they can potentially look to neutralise this hard.
Artist brought down low, and Paul is going to commit in, get some damage onto the point. That's a lot of people sharing the same sort of square centimetre. Dank does go down, however, but Skis went down as well, and there's a lot more combat classes involved for GlobalClan, and when the dust settles, it seems they will get their last point.
Eventually, yeah. That was so odd, the back and forth there. I just think it was just down to almost pure DM right on the second point. There were people who's caught in like these little cubbies, Soldiers doing it such great spam, and yeah, Skis getting caught on the way out underneath didn't help things either. But Witness Gaming now, their 3-0 lead has been cut a little bit shorter, down all the way to 3-2 just in these last like 3 or 4 minutes. This game could be turning on its head. 2 more minutes of regulation time to play before we go into overtime. It's not like they don't have to rush for this next round. There is plenty of time should GlobalClan be coming back into this one, but Witness Gaming don't want any of that. They're bombing straight in, 2 Soldiers and a Scout straight in onto the combo of GlobalClan. Brandslam going to be above, taken down afterwards, and 3 players, all they find is 1 Scout. And Paolo's Bulldog's in behind, actually going to get the Bulldog, yeah, getting onto Skis. Huge.
Yeah, very good. So now they've got the heals on their side. They can probably waltz this into second point, and I wonder if they might even kind of let the timer. I guess they don't want the timer to tick down at this point. You maybe want to put it to 3-3 if you can over on GlobalClan, and then the next round wins, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, like these last Uber ad pushes we've seen coming in from GlobalClan, they've not got me 100% convinced. Like maybe sometimes like this massive ad, like 80% advantage, they're getting all the setup done, the gun's still like getting set up in front of the spawn, like it's doing good. But
they've been hurt by a sticky trap before. They just go really checking that trap. They finally pop in now, but they've got a level 3 sentry gun to deal with. And I say they've got a level 3 sentry gun to deal with. They're taking a long time to actually deal with it. And very nice blocks coming out from the Scout, but they've got enough people onto the point. There was just too much to deal with at the door. And the point will sing for GlobalClan. They've got their scenario they want to. They're going to go into that second part of the game where next round wins. And it's like a golden cap in EU land, but, you know, fast.
It's a golden cap that could theoretically go on forever. As 10 seconds ticks down, the mid-fight will be starting pretty much as overtime does. And what an outrageous comeback this has been from GlobalClan. They were 3-0 down with, what, like 6 minutes of regulation left? Just to mid-last twice straight away now. And this quick aggression last time we saw from Witness Gaming went very well punished. So this time going to decide to send Laz in behind enemy kitchen pole. They're going to be jumping in onto the enemy combo, going to get behind into Saw. Could be a nuisance after taking the pack, but actually Loaf is the one coming in doing the damage, but is taken down 1-for-1 on the Soldiers so far as players are trying to get healthy and trying to take the refight as Brandslam, the one coming in and slamming down straight onto the combo Scout and onto Dank potentially too. Skis getting the kill into Poledog, and this is the mid-fight that Witness Gaming have needed for so long as they managed to win it out, getting a late kill onto Dank, and they are now in the driving seat.
Yeah, the difference I saw there was a lot of similarities for starters, as they had both soldiers up behind the enemy's line, so it's kind of a war of who could make the best potential of their behind soldier, and GlobalClan's soldier was a lot more kind of giving of his position, very confrontational, straight in, and kind of giving his position away, while Laz just kind of like adopted a very surprise kill early on and just got a step up and just kept healthy.
Yeah, the spy play there, right, it raises the stakes, right? Obviously, if you go in, you get the med, it's huge, the payoff is massive, but chances are it doesn't work, and you're left in this
Oh,
situation. Down one soldier,
oh
Uber
no.
Charge comes in, High Five gets caught out and trading out for Paul. That means this one might get a bit messy later on. It's only spawners, but actually Witness Gaming doing the damage, doing the capping, and winning it out 4-3.
Yeah, just a case of gamers overlapping a little bit of their intentions. They throw in a soldier to block the point, but stickies were not quite definitely used or anything like that. They actually dealt with the cap, so you had this weird play of like spending a soldier when you didn't really spend a soldier. Obviously, the spy play didn't work out. They were down one man. It feels like those one men's on last are very valuable, because if you can get that man to banny bind, like go back to that spawn, you can get a heavy weapons guy. He feels like many men. He's like a 6v6 person on his own. It could be like a 36 versus 6 at sometimes when it comes to these last points.
Yeah, it's like you have the engineer's pressure off, the gun dies up, pops out on heavy now, and then takes damage, goes up, pops out on heavy again, or pops
Yep,
out
and
on scout or something.
and all this just takes so much time, and then the medic pulls out an Uber, and you're like, oh my god, we just committed everybody for this. This is a nightmare. And yeah, then you suddenly just lose footing of the game and all this. But I think it just came down to just that hero gameplay, where I'm seeing a lot of this happen, and I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to old NA, but I feel like I'm not seeing too much team and Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it was a bit sort of like haphazard at times, a bit scrappy, a bit messy, but I'm gonna say it was entertaining. Like there was a lot of, I know obviously like what you say is true, but it led to some fast paced action. Like people sort of trading in, taking a lot of these DM heavy fights and taking these really aggressive Ubers in, and obviously sometimes it worked, sometimes it was punished, and that's the sort of thing with these high risk players. Like if they're high risk, there's got to be some chance it doesn't work, and there's got to be some drastic consequence for when it doesn't. But on the whole, like as Snakewater games I've seen in the past have gone, these two have been a lot more fast paced and frantic than I'm used to seeing at our side of the pond. But yeah, what another one, and again, like coming back from 3-0 down to like 3-3 in like mere minutes. I want to actually check if we get I think we get the logs up in a moment, but I want to see how long it was that like those 3 rounds came through in at the end of that half, because that felt so quick.
Yeah, so looking at the round breakdown, it just went your longest rounds was the first one, then it followed by the second, third, and then obviously they were being hammered out from that point on. Really annoying. I think Witness Gamer were trying to just slow things down and get it into that sort of win mode, where it's that second part of the game mode where they can just get the one round kind of primed, ready, rather than just kind of winning out traditionally. And they were slowing down the gameplay. And also, the mids were not going the way for Witness Gaming for a lot of the time. It felt like they were making pretty right decisions in my mind, at least when it came to mid, but just things weren't quite connecting, or GlobalClan were just kind of bringing things out of nowhere. But it wasn't complete loss. There were a couple of mids being taken here and there, and if they were being taken by GlobalClan, it was mainly for things that you just couldn't see coming, like Uber pops on mid and the liking.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely. Yeah, like we saw obviously like there's on Snake there's obviously like a million different types of soldier aggression you could do, but I know what you're saying. Like when those 3 rounds came through at the end, it seemed like, at least what clicked for me is it felt like the soldier aggression that the Witness were going for had just sort of been figured out by that point. And every time the soldiers were bombing in, the medic was maneuvering around enough. There was traps there. There was a scout watching it. Like it felt like the soldiers had so many walls to go through that even 2 soldiers landing straight on the combo, they were getting one pick at most, and it was often like just a scout or a soldier pick. It wasn't the all important juicy ones like a demo or a medic. But eventually flip flops back, and of course it's always like a strategy game, right? These mid is like you change up one thing one time and they find a counter to it, so you have to go for something else. Like there's a full on like game theory to them as they play out. But eventually, yeah, Witness Gaming coming out on top and coming off a mid fight as well. Fittingly on the last round, that basically that wins the round for them, right? That mid fight, they wipe everyone, get mid, get second, get the Uber ad in, and yeah, nicely played from them.
It's a very interesting game. It's a very interesting night. Honestly, there's a lot of me for my Team Fortress sort of hat to kind of chew on in all of this game, because everybody played and they won rounds for like different reasons and all sorts of kind of things to kind of highlight or improve or kind of look at. The weaknesses were different as well from all these teams. I should say four different teams. Everybody had kind of their own little gremlins, and not one felt the same or similar or anything like that. To say the most connecting factor was actually the map,
Yeah.
but to see it like shown in this many different lights is a testament to the game, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely, and none of them are the light that at least I'm used to seeing. Like I'm
Oh, no, 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 yeah, it feels very different, which is kind of wild to think. You think that would just TF2 would get very formulaic and you just kind of like, this is the best way to play. People have their own flavors, and keep in mind this is week 1, so these teams are still finding their footing. They're starting to figure out what's what, and where they like to find their play style, what they value in these sort of things, and just kind of getting used to each other's playing as well. These are all new rosters. I don't think any of them are established for a long time coming from any of these teams at all. So it's kind of a royal rumble of a season, and what a start.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these teams will all have they'll play each other again later on in the season. And I guess one thing to note is obviously with the pick bans, it's not as if like this is Snake Water week. There's like everyone they do pick bans every week for it, and they might end up landing on this one again. Maybe the teams that lost the Snake Water maps might want to ban it out early. You get sort of that dynamic going in later on, but that's maybe something for another time as we can look back on this one. It's been a fun time and a little excursion across the pond into the world of RGL. It's been good. I think good to come back here sometime.
Yeah, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've also enjoyed the company with me. What is a nice trip across without good company? I'm going to big thank you to Ben PL for joining me on the cast. Of course, the biggest thank you to our headlining streamer, Samus, obviously providing all the lovely streaming action and also making all these stream assets as well. It's a brand new production. This stuff doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, it's looking absolutely great as well. So yeah, fantastic work from Samus. But I think we can head off there. Thank you everyone who's come and joined us. But that'll be it for us.
Yep. Bye bye now.